Here's Prescott. Over the middle, fire, caught, CeeDee Lamb, touchdown, Dallas.
What up, Cowboy Nation? It's your boy Big D here at Big D Media, talking all things Dallas Cowboys and other NFL news. Real quick before I get started, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and hit that noti bell so you'll know anytime we discussing the boys or the NFL over here on the channel. Now, how's everybody doing? Happy Thursday. It is the beginning of week 5 in the NFL. Man, it is going by fast. But it's been some great matchups, some great games, and I'm hoping my boys can pick it up and, have that next man up mentality. But we're going to get into the matchup that's going to start week 5, which is going to be in between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming to the matchup 3-1, first place in the NFC South. And the Atlanta Falcons come in with a 2-2 record, sitting at second place in the NFC South. The Buccaneers come in with the 16th ranked offense, 18th ranked defense, 9th ranked passing attack, and the 25th ranked rushing attack. Atlanta Falcons come in with the 19th ranked offense, 19th ranked defense, 17th ranked passing attack, and the 22nd ranked rushing attack. Top players for the Buccaneers: Shake and Bake Mayfield, 70% completion rate, 984 yards, 8 TDs, 2 interceptions. Running backs: rookie from Oregon, Bucky Irvin, 35 attempts for 203 yards and a touchdown, with his running mate, Rachaad White, sitting at 41 attempts for 115 yards. And the OGs, they the top receivers: Chris Godwin, 27 receptions, 322 yards, and 3 TDs. And, of course, Mike Evans, 18 receptions, 214 yards, and also 3 TDs. So a lot of production from the receivers and the quarterback for Tampa Bay. Top players for the Falcons: Kinfolk Kirk Cousins, 64% completion rate, 864 yards passing, with 4 TDs and 4 interceptions. Top backs: Bijan Robinson, shout out Longhorns, 55 attempts, 224 yards and 1 TD. And Algier, 27 attempts for 166 yards and 0 touchdowns. Top receivers: Mooney, sitting at 15 receptions for 225 yards and 1 TD. And Drake London with 20 receptions and 200 yards and 2 TDs. Now, I'm going to have to lean the Buccaneers' way on this one because of the defense in Tampa Bay. I think Todd Bowles do a great job at putting pressure on quarterbacks. I don't see the Falcons' defense even being close to the Eagles, if that makes sense. I know it's 2 different teams, but the way they was putting pressure on that good offensive line, even though they was missing Lane Johnson, I think they ended up sacking Jalen Hurts like 6 times. And I believe that's going to be the same story tonight. I believe they're going to constantly put pressure on Kirk. And he really not the scrambler that Jalen Hurts is. So I'm thinking it might be a long night for Kirk Cousins, and I'm thinking Tampa Bay is for real. You know what I mean? Their offense look good. They got a running game. The quarterback is confident. The offensive line is good. The defensive line is good. And they got decent linebackers and secondary. So I think Tampa Bay going to take this game tonight. Now, the Falcons look good. They got a lot of talent on offense with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and, Bijan, and now Kirk. A lot of people don't like Kirk Cousins, but I think Kirk Cousins can get you there if he got a good defense and good role players around him. I won't say Kirk just gonna walk you to the playoffs and through the playoffs. So I like Kirk, but I'm realistic as well. So I'm gonna have to take Tampa Bay, and I don't know if it's gonna be much of a game, really personally, because like I said, I feel like Tampa Bay gonna bring a lot of pressure tonight and really make it tough on Kirk to get them receivers rolling. And I don't know. I mean, outside of some big runs from Saquon Barkley, the rush defense looked pretty good. Now, Bijan Robinson is a game breaker, so you got to be wary of keeping him boxed in as well. That's what I was saying when I was watching the Eagles play the Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gonna have to make sure that Jalen Hurts beat him and Saquon Barkley pretty much stay boxed up, and that's exactly what they did. Outside of a couple of runs, they made it tough on Jalen and Saquon and pulled out the game. So I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go 28-14. I really don't think I'm gonna go 28-13. I think that it's going to be maybe a field goal punt night for Atlanta. They might sneak in there once or twice, maybe off of a turnover here or there, on a short field. But I just don't see them walking up and down the field on Tampa Bay like that. So that's my pick, 28-13 Tampa Bay, moving to 4-1, dropping the Falcons to 2-3. And maybe sitting at third place in the NFC South. So that's my prediction on that. Now on the Cowboy note, man, we came out of MetLife pretty banged up. I'm sorry, hadn't been no videos since then. Just had a lot of personal things going on this week after work, and just was hard to get out here and make a video. So I do apologize to the people who have been watching, because there's some things going on, with Davante Adams requesting a trade from the Raiders. We could all see that coming when he lost Derek Carr. I believe Derek Carr was the reason he went, and the Raiders had other things on their mind. They felt like they can trick Davante into coming there and then get rid of the reason he came there, and think he'd want to stay. So I really think he's wanted to leave since they got rid of Derek Carr, because I believe Derek Carr was the reason he went to the Raiders. What other reason would you have to go to the Raiders besides play with your college roommate? Because the Raiders don't have anything attractive to me that would draw me as a top wide receiver to play there. You have no good quarterbacks, if you ask me. So I know Davante Adams has become available, and from what I hear, we contacted the Raiders, but y'all know we not getting no Davante Raiders. Jerry gonna tell us we got Davante Adams at home, and we gonna pull out Jalen Tolbert. That'll be a number 2 wide receiver now. I believe, from where we sitting right now in the season with Brandon Cooks with the knee infection. You know what I mean? We got Ryan Flournoy, the youngster, the rookie, and he say he ready to show what he got. So one thing I will say is Mike McCarthy found Davante Adams. He was a part of that Dez catch, no catch game. And, he had a lot to do with sealing the deal in that game. I won't forget, he was juking them boys left and right at the end of that game, and we couldn't get him off the field really because of Davante Adams. So I trust Mike McCarthy when it comes to finding wide receiver talent. I mean, just look at all the receivers that he made, a household name in Green Bay. So we could have something special sitting over there on the sideline. And this Brandon Cooks loss could really be a blessing in disguise, because let's face it, ain't nobody scared of Brandon Cooks. Ain't nobody scared of Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks' calling card has always been his speed. And, he closer to 40 than he not. And that speed is dwindling, if you understand what I'm saying. You know what I mean? But he's still a good player. I just think that we can get a little more out of somebody else. And that might help us in the run game if somebody on the other side wasn't a threat, but a little bit more respected. You feel what I'm saying? All they doing is loading up the box on us and bracketing and doubling CD Lamb and making our other receivers win their matchups, and they not doing it right now. You see the throws that Dak Prescott made in that New York game. They weren't open. He was putting the ball in their hands, So the accuracy game that Dak have to play is dangerous. You know what I mean? So we need somebody to become more of a threat outside of CD and Jake Ferguson. And somebody, the line and the running backs, gotta step it up, bro. They gotta step it up. Like, we are not gonna go anywhere. Tony Pollard got more rushing yards than all our running backs put together. Now, Tony Pollard looked just like they did last year. It's the offensive line, man. It has been since y'all start calling Zeke washed. It's been the offensive line. We don't move people, especially in the middle. That's why I stand on the fact that Zach Martin was not an all-pro player last year. We barely had 1,000 yards rushing last year. So we need to pick it up in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Everybody know we lost D-Law. We lost Micah for a little bit. We picked up this KJ Henry cat, and we got multiple people on the sideline. It's time to come together, man, and get through this tough time of the season. Everybody going through it. Look at the 49ers. Pulled out a victory the other day with basically all backups on offense. And Brandon Ayuk. So it can be done, man. You just have to have the team to do it. And I think we do. I'm not sure how it's going to look without these three fellas this week. So you might want to temper your expectations. It's going to probably be an emotional game, and we need the defense to build on what they did last week, because the Steelers going to run the ball right at you. And Terrence Steele, you better be ready. Mr. Watt is on the way, or you have to go see Mr. Watt. You got to go in his building. It's going to be hard for you to hear, and you really going to have to move your feet, man, and keep folk clean and keep him from getting injured. 42, he show up with bad intentions, man. TJ Watt is not to be played with. We got a lot going on this week. They got one of the top young wide receivers in the game, Trayvon, George Pickens. He fixing to get his chance to show everybody what he been waiting on, what I've been talking about. George Pickens is one of the best young wide receivers in the NFL, and I think he's going to get a chance to show it this year. I really do. But, yeah, man, I'm just hoping we can go down here to Pittsburgh and really show that we're a good team. Like Coach say, we trying to go show the quality of our football team. It's about a few players. And let's be honest, Micah and D-Law haven't been playing the best. They haven't. So, maybe we can find some guys over there that's maybe not as flashy, but they seal the edge. They play their gap, and they tackle when they get there. That's all we need. That's all we need right now. You know what I mean? We need Micah back. Micah's having a down year this year. I think Micah got like 1 or 2 sacks. You know what I mean? Maybe 1. I don't know if they counted that one in New York when he got held and he was holding on to, the Daniel Jones jersey, but Mike got like 1 or 2 sacks. So we really need to lock in this week when it come to Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, another big Alabama running back. Won't say as explosive or fast as Derrick Henry, but he sure runs tough, man. And we're going to have to show up and we're going to have to get 11 guys to the ball and get him on the ground. Because Najee Harris is a strong dude. But I'm looking forward to the matchup. Love Mike Tomlin. Always have. He always put together a good, tough football team, regardless of the record. You got to go play when you play Pittsburgh. So that's my video for today, man. That's my prediction. Like I said, 28-13 is my prediction for Tampa Bay. With Tampa Bay pulling it out, I think Tampa Bay going to run away with that division. Like I say, I think it's going to get worse for the Saints before it get better. They've already proved that if you stop some of those plays from the first 2 weeks, get a little pressure on Derek Carr, they look like the Saints and not world beaters. So I think they ran into 2 bad defenses the first 2 games and looked a little bit better than what they really were. So thank you for watching the video, man. Remember, comment on the video. Let me know what your score prediction is for tonight. Let me know what you think we're going to do about Davante Adams. You think we're going to get him? I don't. We know how this goes as Cowboy fans. But hey, you can always dream and hope. I'm Big D here at Big D Media, man. Thank you for watching the video. Share the video. Like I always say.